Well, the newest set over in Japan is now released and legal for play. We had pre-releases this weekend for Journey Together, and over in Japan, they were getting cards for what is this set called in Japan?
Uh,
Hot Wind Arena?
that's can't be right.
Hot Wind Arena, bro. I think it's
It
like one of those like two sets. Like there's like two
I think it's
mini
just the one.
sets.
I think it's just the one. Hang on, I can check. Hot Wave Arena.
Oh, so it's just wrong on Limitless. Robin, what's going on, bro? Hot Wind Arena. Wait,
Hot
is there
Wave
Hot Wind
Arena.
and Hot Wave maybe?
No, I think it's just Hot Wave Arena. And then
Robin.
on yeah, I think that is all they had, and then on April 18th, they get the glory of Team Rocket, it looks like.
Okay. And so these will be cards that come out in our next set.
Yes. Which will be coming alongside the glory of Team Rocket, which will get
Yes.
reveals from, or probably we will get reveals for it at Champions League Miyagi. So that's 2 weeks from now. We'll be seeing what comes out in the Team Rocket set.
Yeah, April 5th weekend. So that's pretty exciting for sure. But in the meantime, let's take a look at some of the cards and decks, I guess we should say, that have been doing well since this set came out. Because over in Japan, when the set releases, so it released on March 15th, I imagine, or I
Yeah.
guess like the day before or whatever.
Yeah.
And cards are legal for play immediately. And immediately we see one of them having success. And there's actually a couple of these sprinkled in here.
Yeah.
And it's the combination of Golden Go EX and Typhlosion,
Dude,
Ethan's Typhlosion.
you thought Golden Go Dragapult was bad, but wait, there's more. We've got Golden Go Typhlosion, which I don't know if this is bad or not. The Typhlosion offers like an interesting one prize attacker that can hit pretty hard. It does 40 damage plus 60 more for each Ethan's adventure in your discard pile. And you do play 4 of those. So you can hit for 208 damage, right? That's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, and the Ethan's Adventure pulls energy cards out of your deck, right? So
Yeah.
you can use that to pair with Golden Go to make it rain to do more damage, and then it allows you to play other A specs,
Specs.
right? Besides the Energy Search Pro, right? Adding something like the Unfair stamp into the mix doesn't seem too bad. And of course, the Ethan's Quilava is a big part of this as well because it lets you search your deck for an Ethan's Adventure card, put it into your hand. So you can like if you aggressively with Buddy Poffin can get down a couple of Cyndaquil, you can get into play potentially on turn two or turn end of turn one with TM Evolution. A couple of Quilava you can go get your Ethans. You can use it to get energy out. You can Ultra Ball discard, right? Like you can
Yeah.
get these guys in the discard pile pretty quick so that on turn three, you can be swinging for a lot of damage with Ethan's Typhlosion as a one prizer.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, could there just be a Typhlosion deck? Could that just be a thing? Like, do we need 280 is like a lot. I guess like you need something to be able to stand up to like Dragapults probably.
Hmm.
Maybe Ethan's Typhlosion can't do it by itself. But we're kind of like I remember when we were talking about the Ethan's cards, we were like, I don't think you play this deck with Typhlosion or the Quilava. It feels like it'd be better with just like researches and like dig through your deck,
Yeah.
accelerate energy to play. But maybe that's true, but that's because the Typhlosion's in a different deck by itself.
Yeah. It's
Or
just the
with Golden
Typhlosion
Go.
deck.
Yeah. Or with Golden Go, get the big one hit. Dude, it seems it's so funny. Like Golden Go paired with Dragapult, Golden Go paired with Typhlosion. It's like Golden Go solves a lot of problems. You need something else to solve the others. And the big one for Golden Go actually right now, not even in their format, the format they're in with these cards, but even our format coming up is fighting Ogre Pawn is like a big I don't know, it's like really checking a lot of decks in the format. And the Typhlosion is an answer to that as well. So that's probably a big piece, big reason to include it in your deck. That the Cornerstone Ogre Pawn is definitely a
Do you remember what I
annoying
said about
card.
Golden Go when Paradox Rift was coming out? What card I compared it to?
Zorark.
Bro, it's we're just every deck. You remember how
Oh!
Zork went with everything?
Yeah,
What's Golden Goes go with everything, bro.
yeah,
Maybe
you just
my call wasn't so crazy after all.
you weren't wrong, you were just early. Zorark was played by itself sometimes, like Zorark Control, just Golden Go by itself is pretty good. Golden Go with
Mhm.
Typhlosion, hey, not bad. Golden Go with Dragapult, not terrible. Dude,
Not terrible, he says.
was Chip cooking. We'll see what else Golden Go gets paired with in the future. Caesar, people play it with Caesar,
Mhm.
thing. Um,
So here's another interesting one that there's a couple of results from, and we just got this card revealed not that long ago, and that was the Yan Mega
yeah.
EX. And there's a couple results here, a couple of different lists we can look at, both paired with the Dunsparce. So for those
Oh,
who
wait,
don't
click back real
remember,
fast.
whoa, whoa,
Go
whoa.
back twice real fast. Look at all that Dragapult, bro. That's so disgusting. All right, go back to the Yen Mega. I just wanted to.
There's a there that actually like just if you click on the top eights of a lot of these tournaments, there's a lot of other new cards that like right here on the front page, we only see the things that have been
Yeah.
winning. But there's like looking at here, we got a couple of Cynthia's Garchomps, right? We got a Crustle deck, and that's the truth for like all of these different
Yeah,
tournaments. If
it's
you look at
definitely
them,
worth. I did that earlier today on my stream. I just kind of looked at what's been winning in the Journey Together format. I didn't jump ahead to Heat Wave, but I was yeah, it's definitely worth clicking on the tournament and seeing the top 16 and not just looking at the winning list. There's a lot more to be seen in each individual tournament. But yeah, this is like it's a weird build. It's not just yet. It's like again, make a box.
yeah, it's almost like it's like a wall deck, right? With the Melodic and Farigiraf and Ogerpon, right? But then you've just got this like vanilla strong card in the Yanmega.
Yeah.
And for those who don't remember, because this did just come out a couple or get revealed a couple of weeks ago, it's got the ability Buzz Boost. You may use this ability once during your turn when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot. Search your deck for up to 3 basic grass energy and attach them to this Pokemon. And then its attack for 3 grass, 1 colorless, 210 damage. Move 3 energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon.
Yeah, so it's a very I would say it's a very powerful card, but it's one of those cards where you read it, it's not like a Charizard EX, right? Charizard does everything itself and can do everything itself for the whole game. Yeah, and Mega needs some kind of partner, and we see in this deck specifically, Walls is the inclusion here, Melodic. Got the Water Bond in here as well for some snipe action,
I
fighting
think
Ogerpon.
the Dunsparce makes sense as the kind of draw engine potentially for this deck, which I know you love to hate on Dunsparce as well. But if you just, you retreat your Yanmega into Dunsparce, you get to use your runaway draw, send it back, and then boom, Yanmega comes up. You get to use that ability, get a bunch of energy on it once again.
I don't hate the Dunsparce. It was
Yes, you
just
do.
it was bad up until now. Like I'm always talking about cards in the context of the current format, current meta, and the Dunsparce was terrible until Journey
Well,
Together plus rotation.
I think the Dunsparce is cool, and you said he wasn't. So that's all I know.
Okay, sure, sure. Well, let's take a look at there's some other cool decks in this top 16. We can take a look at the other or
Well,
we
here,
want to take a look at the other Yan Mega first.
yeah, I was gonna look at the other Yen Mega first, which is right here. It's also paired with Dunsparce. I'm wondering if this one is paired with walls, and no, it is not, but it is
Yes,
paired
it
with a
is.
different wall.
Yeah.
In the Crustle, another new card coming out. Mystic Rock Shelter. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And also like the big things for the Crustle. What does its attack do? It's 120 and then what?
It's not
Is the
affected by
effect?
effects.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
So it
Like
one hit KOs fighting Ogerpon EX.
so we already have Mimikyu in the format, is what I was gonna say. But Mimikyu only 70 HP. It's only doing 70 damage, 150 HP, doing 120 damage. It's definitely a big step up from that. And when I was looking at some of the decks just from the Journey Together format, there were some quad Mimikyu decks floating around. With like luxurious capes and mist energy and just making big Mimikyus. But Crustle is kind of just a big waller just naturally by itself. But it does come from the Dwebble, which means there's more time for your opponent to kind of disrupt your setting up of your waller. So yeah, got the
Well,
Yanmega in there as well. Oh,
sometimes
yeah, sometimes it has Ascension.
it does have Ascension. So you just get to search your deck and immediately get the guy in
There's
play.
also TM Evo in here, I guess. All right, you know what? It's just broken. It's just insane.
And what's cool with this too, Crustle isn't a bad like it's not a bad attack on a Pokemon with that ability, right? 120 hit through effects, but takes a while to get that guy powered up. 3 energy cards. But if you have a Yanmega, swing with the Yanmega, boom, you throw all 3 energy onto the
Yep.
Crustle. He's ready to go. And then this deck has Turo, Scoop Up Cyclone. You can, with the Dunsparce as well, get to lone Crustle board states for sure pretty reasonably, which against certain decks could just be checkmate, right?
Yeah, so Yanmega definitely just being used here as like an enabler, right? It's just trying to it's not enough to win games by itself. You need some backup. And so far, the backup we're seeing here is just walls. Just Pokemon that can't be hit by certain Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Wait,
let's
go back one more. Go back to that one now. What is that Typhlosion Crustle deck?
Typhlosion Crustle. Ethan's Typhlosion Crustle and Shaman, of course. Oh, Vengeful Punch.
You need the punches.
Gotta have the punches. That's how you get into 320 with Typhlosion, bro.
I mean, there it is. That's what I was talking about. The just Typhlosion deck. But apparently with Crustle. I don't know what Crustle beats, but it's probably beating them. I don't know what it's beating though. Luxurious capes. They're the capes. 250 HP Crustle right there.
That's a big Crustle. All right. Well, I wanted to go back to this one yen Mega tournament because there was a couple
Yeah.
of interesting decks we can look at here.
Cynthia's
Um,
Garchomp.
I think Garchomp is one of the more interesting cards to come out here in this new set. And I mean, this is just basically a straight Garchomp deck. So the Garchomp here, Screw Dive, 100 damage. You may draw cards, so you have 6 cards in your hand. And then Dragon Buster for 2 fighting, 260. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. And it is Cynthia's Garchomp as well. And then the Roserade here makes it so all your Cynthia's Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active.
I don't know how to feel about the Garchomp. I mean, a big part of this as well is the tool card that gives your Cynthia's Pokemon plus 70 HP. We see this.
So much HP.
Yeah, we see this build specifically also has Hero's Cape, so we're looking at like 30 more. That feels like weird to waste your ace spec on 30 more HP, but maybe it lines up in a certain matchup. Um, but I mean, this is one of those things, and I think we said this about Charizard when it was coming out. It didn't look great. We were like, seems fine, but we're like, the stats are high. And it's like once the stats get high enough, something is just going to be good. I feel like that might be the same thing for Garchomp here. Um, and also like I haven't seen a ton of it, but like, so the problem with Garchomp, of course, is the energy because you're basically living off manual attachments. You have no acceleration.
Yeah.
So you're doing the 100, and then does the second attack discard your energy, or what does it do again? You
Yeah, it
can't attack next turn.
discards all energy attached to it.
Okay, yeah. So you do the big 260 for a big one hit KO with the Roserade buffs, and then you're down to 0 energy and play again. I saw some lists with like Power Glass, which was interesting.
This
But
deck should definitely have Neo Upper as its A spec, I feel like.
wait, yeah, what the heck? Wait, you're kind
Ne-
of cooking there, Chip.
Neo Upper's got to be broken.
Yeah, well, finding it could be tough though. I guess that's the only thing.
Sure.
But I don't hate the Neo Upper. Also, I don't hate like some Turros in here, so you can just like reset your Garchomp and then attach again and then attack. But I'm definitely excited to. This is definitely one that I feel like has some. It's not going to be a very exciting deck to watch play, but I think it has potential for sure because it's just big numbers, right? Big HP, big damage for low energy cost.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at with that one.
Here's one with 4 Monkey Dory
Of
in the deck.
course.
Oh
Don't
my
forget.
goodness.
And for
Wait,
Crispin.
Crispin. Yo, hold up. That's how you can get your energy excel.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you would need to play a second type, which I guess works because you have Monkey Dory.
Yeah.
You don't even have Roserade in here though. That feels kind of bad.
Well, but Monkey Dory is our Roserade,
Okay.
right?
Chip's cooking there.
Kind of.
Kind of.
This one does
It
have
is
the Power Glass, which is a card you mentioned.
It's a trolley, which is like a cool trolley decks are always cool. Say that. Got the
Dude, you
Shaman
are
on there for bench
obsessed
protection.
with Trolley as
It's
a
just a
card.
sick card. It lets you play you fit so much more into your deck when you play trolley. You get like +4 spots.
Yeah,
4
like
spots.
you can play so much, like 4 Gibble and 4 Monkey Dory.
And 4 dude, there's 4 Crispin in here, bro.
Okay.
Gotta fit it somehow.
True.
It is nice to see. Actually, when we are seeing the Shaman pop up in a couple of these decks, I said this earlier on my stream. The design of Shaman has me really excited for the future. Obviously, like there's a lot of Terra Pokemon right now, so Snipes. If you have Shaman plus Terra Pokemon, Snipes aren't going to be that prevalent against that deck, anyways. But no new Terras are coming out, so they're going to slowly start to get cycled out. So like just the way they design Shaman, I'm really excited for. I think we'll probably have another bench barrier card after Shaman, but I like that they're willing to get creative and put some limitations on it and not have it kind of be a catch-all.
Are you ready for this one?
Ooh, one of your favorites.
The
Okie
Quad
dokie.
Okie Dokie deck. Wait, why is this one of my favorites? I've never claimed
I
this to be one of my favorites.
I just thought you were like a fan.
I mean, I'm down. He's a cool guy. I'm not gonna hate, but like, bro,
Why
this
is this
deck
one of
has
my
2
favorites?
Surfer in it.
Yeah, the surfers are questionable for sure. There's no energy accelerator. What do we have before energy? No, we have energy stickers still. What do we have? Is that what we had before with this?
What, Gutsy Pickaxe?
No, but we didn't play that. I think it was energy sticker. That
Was it
card is still.
just the sticker?
Is this illegal?
There's EXP share.
Yeah, there's
But
EXP
yes,
stickers in here.
energy sticker is still legal. Yes.
Okay, so we could still put those in here if we really wanted to. But yeah, I guess you could just live off EXP shares as well. Doesn't seem terrible.
That's an
Wonder
interesting one. Lots of our Chaladon decks, and there's a few different ways it looks like.
that is
Oh,
true.
hold on. We got a Mamoswine deck. Oh, and the Blaziken.
And not playing the Garganackle, which is what I've seen for the most part. They're going with the Blaziken.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Blaziken is maybe just a little bit better, right? Or it just gives you more options. It's bigger, right?
It also has less retreat cost. Garganackle has like 4 retreat cost.
He's a thick boy for sure.
Yeah, maybe Blaziken is the move in this deck. The question is just like, is the deck even good to begin with? Which I don't know. It's tough. I'm not sure to be honest. I really like it. I think it's really sick. The Mammoth is super, super sick, but I think it'll be tough for it to
Is
compete.
this thing coming out in Journey Together?
Yep.
Let's go, bro. I'm
But
super
that is
down.
a that is going to still be a format where Grass Ogre Pond is still pretty prevalent with Terra Box and Raging Bolt. But maybe once we get Heatwind, uh, little things will change.
This thing's in Journey Together, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Well, this is your answer to Ogerpon.
I don't know if you win that trade, but maybe. We don't have Shaman then either, so they're still going to be water pawning you.
Yeah, that is true. The water pawn is pretty scary. That
Although they're
is,
not even playing Shaman. Although maybe the fear of Shaman has stopped people from playing water pawn.
I
So
mean, yeah, it doesn't look like there's too much of that deck really
yeah,
in a lot of these tournaments. But one thing, yeah, where there's a bunch of our Chaladon decks, it seems like Hops double our Chaladon is definitely been a way people have been playing this deck.
yeah. That's what I was talking about that earlier. Is that this deck wishes that Pokestop was still legal. Imagine being able to like Pokestop, thin out your deck, and you just Night Stretcher gives you everything. Night Stretcher's a boss. Like that would be insane.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's still pretty good though. I think like Hops double, like a gust effect from evolving is like still pretty powerful, and we've seen it be pretty powerful historically. I mean, Luxray GL level X, I think, is the main one people who played back then would think about with the bright look ability, which is the exact same thing as Luxray or as double, basically.
yeah,
And then more recently than that, I can't even think of one actually to be. Oh, Lycanroc, right?
yeah,
Lycanroc. But yeah, we've had the bright look Gust evolve a Pokemon to Gust ability on a stage one quite a bit to the Pokemon
Ye-
TCG.
historically a pretty good ability for sure.
Yeah. So far, and it does. I think it does synergize pretty well with our Chaladon because our Chaladon is a super self-sufficient Pokemon. Doesn't need a whole lot, so you can spend resources to go get the doubles. You have bench space as well. Our Chaladon isn't a super bench, especially now that you're not trying to set up Dialga anymore because it's rotated. You're not super bench reliant, so plenty of bench space for your doubles. Like I said, it does feel like this deck was wishes that Pokestop was still legal, but I think it'll still be able to make do.
Yeah, definitely still seems solid. Still several Raging Bolts, it feels like doing decently at these events. Raging
Yeah,
Bolt
that,
Noctowl with the go wide Area Zero deck.
yep, those are still floating around.
In Zoroark, still popping up every once in a while. This deck definitely has, I would say, underperformed to what people hoped when we saw the reveal from this card at Worlds.
Yeah, I think once we assuming that these were all the cards we are gonna get for it, which now we know this is like all the cards we're gonna get for it, basically. It was like, oh, this deck's like doesn't seem that good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It
when it was one of the
definitely,
big cards they revealed at Worlds, I think a lot of people thought, including myself, that it was gonna be a bigger.
and this deck has to get much worse when Shaman comes out.
Oh yeah, almost certainly for sure. I don't
Yeah.
even know how it exists. It would be one of those decks that maybe like waits for people to cut Shaman because there's no snipe Pokemon being played, which is kind of
And
like where we are right now, to be honest, in the current
I
format.
wanted to look at this Charizard deck because Charizard, I mean, we've talked about it many times, right? How it's like just such a strong card, right? It does everything. Um, it's so weird that like this card exists in our format and it's like not that good right now, you know, because it like just does everything. But Dragapult is so tough to deal with. So if there's ever like just not that much Dragapult, I feel like this card does. This deck has to do super well until like almost everything else, you know.
Yeah, and we do see Dragapult. Like if you look at the results from these city leagues, Dragapult does look as like look like it's being pretty successful, but it did lose a lot more than most decks, I would say, to rotation. Doesn't have Lance, doesn't have V Pokemon or Force Sealstone to work with. I think, and I kind of just hope. I don't know. I haven't thought about it too hard, but I hope that Dragapult doing well at City Leagues is just like Dragapult doing well at City Leagues when Dragapult first came out, and it's actually just bad. But over in Japan, they're still just playing it
Why the heck
at a
does this
very high
guy have a
rate.
Gravity Mountain in his Charizard deck?
Maybe so you can like punch something and then gravity mounting knocks it out. I mean, it helps Charizard KO faster, right?
Maybe KOs and
Typically.
like mirror matches or against Dragapult, I guess,
Yeah.
like a turn earlier.
Those would be the big ones.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping that Dragapult's actually just bad because that deck's kind of boring.
And one more thing I did want to mention because I see it looks like three in the new format have won City Leagues, and this is a name I haven't heard in quite some time, and that is the Future Box deck, Iron Hands, Miraidon with the Iron Crown.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot, not just about. I've been thinking mostly about Iron Hands going into the next format, even as soon as like Atlanta with Journey Together. This is like a format separated from that. Um, and it's probably just because I've been playing so much Miraidon recently. But Miraidon doesn't seem terrible. But when I thought about it further, I was like, Future Hands is literally just Miraidon. Like you don't have Force Seal Stone to abuse. You don't have Raichu to use. So Iron Hands does what Iron Hands does in Miraidon, and it also does exactly what Miraidon does in Future Hands. So I think Future Hands could be good again for sure. Because I don't know, a lot of people have a lot of things on their bench that Iron Hands just KOs, and then they have a lot of other things like Ogre Pawns and stuff that get KO'd by Arm Press. So I think the Iron Hands could be back. We'll see. Its Dragapult matchup probably isn't great, but they usually have a lot of liabilities on the
I don't
bench. I don't
know.
know.
It's probably fine because you can pretty easily go like KO a Dreepy with Miraidon, right?
Yeah.
Then you can KO like you can definitely take 4 prizes with an Iron Hands EX
Yeah, or you could take 2 and then
just
2 hit KO a Dragapult for
for
3.
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it might be there. The prize lineup might be there, to be honest. Um, and it's like kind of naturally has like a way to deal with Badoo as well, right? Because even if you go first, you get your first attachment down, then you go peak acceleration plus attach into attach plus capsule
It's gotta be
every
worth playing
hands.
Pheasantipity in this deck, right?
Um, I don't know. You don't have a lot of bench space, but in this build specifically, there's just like 2 Mew hanging out. So
Really valuing
maybe
that pivot, I guess, but,
I
like,
think you.
everything in your deck is a pivot with,
Well, I
Future
think you.
Capsule.
I think you value Mew higher because of the Dragapult matchup, because Dragapult doesn't take KOs. So you want draw power under Iono while they're just not KOing anything. And maybe other matchups play out similarly, so that's why you play it like this.
Sure.
But yeah, I think there's like whether it be Miraidon or Future Hands just seems like better Miraidon at this point, like I said, because the explosive potential of Miraidon is so much less because you don't have Force Seal Stone is the big thing to find like another generator on that first turn.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be just going like attack with Tapu Koko or pass as Miraidon, you may as well attack with your baby Miraidon in Future Hands and set up your Iron Hands. So seems like the better way to play Iron Hands moving forward for sure.
And then maybe one more thing to look at would just be some of these Gardevoir lists because Gardevoir, hey, no more good Curlia. Gardevoir's still got a pretty good ability on it, so
Yeah, and most of the builds are like relying on research and more Ionos. We see this list here. Has Arvin still, but only 2, and isn't even playing TM Evo, going on the rare candy route. And almost every list that I've seen is like 3 rare candy, 2 Curlia, which I think is fine. But can we get a 4th rare candy in these decks? Like, even for like, I understand 2 Curlia because you want to be able to deal with Badoo. But if we're not playing a TM Evo, if we're playing Arvins, that also
dude,
kind of confuses me.
we just need to make the optimized cut right now. Gardevoir the Gardevoir players are gonna hate this, but it's true because Gardevoir is the new Tapu Bulu Vikavolt. Gardevoir is Vikavolt. Let's just cut the Chargebugs. Get the Chargebugs out of there. No Curlias. 303 Gardevoir with
How
4
do you
rare
hold on?
candy.
How do you have to deal with Badoo though? Badoo is
Okay,
a
you
1
know,
Curlia.
we can attach 2 times to Drifloon and
We could
knock it
slap. We
out.
can slap him with Screamtail.
We can slap him with Screamtail. There are many ways. Badoo, I don't care about Badoo. You can Psy Shot with Ralts, dude.
Oh
Badoo's
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
We have 2 Monkey Dory in our deck.
All right, we might be able to put it together, dude. That is so funny. You're like, all right, we have to just we are Vikabulu. Honestly, though, you're
Gardevoir is a
right.
Vikavolt, our Mew-EX and our Clefairy are our Bulu, you know?
Oh, what about Drifloon? It's not the Drifloon's not the Bulu
Drifloon
here.
Drifloon is, what is that guy? Didn't people play like a Delmise or something in the deck, you know, at one point? Drifloon's the
Did they?
Delmise.
Okay, okay. Drifloon's a Delmise. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Guardy still seems to be alive, and honestly, it could be at the same power level that it's at. In the current format, Guardy's not that good. Guardy's, like, very much fine. It could be just as good, in Journey Together and this next format after that.
Imagine being
Although
someone who's started playing in the last, like, 3, 4 years, and they're like, "Well, dude, what the heck are these guys talking about? What is a Vika Bulu?"
The real ones know.
The real ones know.
What a deck, bro. It was one of the biggest meme decks that wasn't actually terrible. It was
It
like
was pretty good. It was like
it wasn't that good. It was like but it was funny though because it was kinda like a community-wide meme. The deck was like a
yes.
community-wide meme. Um, even the Bulu believers, I feel like knew deep down that their deck was trash. Um,
Wait, didn't you play it to a tournament?
I did play it at a tournament, Portland regionals, I don't know, 20 something.
Let's see. Did you make day 2?
No.
Okay, so it's not gonna be on here.
Firms the deck's trash.
Well, I'll pick someone who I know did play it, Peter Kika. Let's see
Yeah.
it.
I think he got top 8. Oh, he maybe lost the one in
At
it.
that tournament?
Mhm. He was close. He was definitely in day
Oh, right
2.
here. Portland, yep,
Ooh,
10th
close.
place.
There we go.
Oh, Alex Hill got top 8 of that tournament
That's
with him.
right, yeah.
Vika Bulu, bro.
Miserable experience. The deck was fine. The deck was very fine.
Oh, man. Were
Honestly, there
these
was
the
just
counts?
yeah.
7-5 for the energy? Why do we need that many lightning energy?
Because Vikavolt only accelerates a grass and a lightning.
Right, but like
Yeah.
okay.
You need the energy in there. You could have maybe gone one less lightning, I guess, possibly, because you do need to manually attach the grass, right?
Dude, look at how close this is to just being the Gardevoir deck.
Well, except for the attacking lineup. I think you're gassing it a little bit here, Chip.
Nah, dude, it's
Also, Guardies are
Gardevoir.
well, I guess you also attacked with Vikavolt in this deck quite a bit. It wasn't you didn't do it like every game, but it wasn't rare.
I'm gonna tweet this out tomorrow. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures.
Dude, you are gassing this so hard, bro. Do we have N back then? We did have
We
N.
did have N.
Okay. Arvins and
Why is this guy
Skylas.
playing Explorer's Guidance? Is this a thing? Are people playing Explorer's Guidance?
This is the only list I've seen with the Explorer's Guide. Most people had Blender as well, but it seems like in the
I
Journey Together list, there was most of them had Brilliant Blender as the A spec, but these ones are going the unfair stamp route.
yeah.
Most of these have the unfair stamp.
Any other City League decks you think we should take a look at?
I'll click on a couple tournaments to see if there's anything in the top 8,
Boop.
top 16s.
Random tournament.
Cargo.
Oh, Mag Cargo. Hold up. I'm glad you told us to stick around. And this is exactly what we were talking about, dude.
Yes, no, they
N-
just don't play any of the
It's
Typhlosion.
the Ethan's deck, no Typhlosion. And
We were
Mag
right,
Cargo
bro.
is just the guy.
Yeah, we were right. We were right the whole time.
I can see this being pretty good. I mean, Ho-Oh's ability is nuts, dude. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Cargo hits pretty hard. Like,
And he scoots around the board, bro. He's fast. He's got 0 energy. Like,
yeah, he's scooting, bro. He's scooting.
he's scooting all over, bro. You get the Mela in there for a little extra acceleration. So you can go like Ethan's, attach, Mela, boom, boom, boom.
I guess I'd probably just play I'd rather like play a fourth Ho-Oh, I guess.
What's this guy do again? Your Iris, draw 2 of 6 in
Yeah,
your hand.
I've seen a couple decks be playing that instead of research. It's kind of like it's like a decent heavy draw supporter or potentially heavy, but like people are playing it instead of like a one of research. Like a lot of the Pidgeot decks were playing like one Iris. So you like if Arvin doesn't do enough, but you don't want to Iona your opponent, or you've already drawn too many prize cards for Iona to matter, but you don't want to play research because it discards your whole hand. I've seen quite a few Irises in lists. Um,
I'm
anything else?
interested to see what'll
Oh,
happen
the
with like
tank.
Terapagos decks post rotation without double turbo energy.
This is
Obviously,
it.
we just got to go to Trumpet Crispin builds, right?
Yeah, Monkey Dory. Your tank, you got the boofs. This is what Pokemon wanted. They wanted every Terrapagos deck to be playing 2 Bouffalant. Well, now you play 3 because you don't have Heavy Ball, but
Can't prize them.
it's actually crazy how much lists have changed. There's so many more 2 ofs that you just don't want to play 2 of because
Yeah,
everyone is playing so heavily around prize cards, which I wonder if is like a some of the lists that I saw, it felt like an overcorrection. It was like you just gotta take an L sometimes or just play a tough game. Like, but yeah, it seems like everyone is like playing pretty heavily around prize cards
there are
with lack
people
of heavy ball.
there are people who have never experienced playing Pokemon without Hisui and Heavy Ball in the format.
That's true. That's true. They're all gonna be playing exchange ticket. They're like, "Man, I can't do this, man. I can't handle this. Just put the ticket in there just in case."
Azul, what replaces Hisuian heavy ball post rotation?
Get me out of here.
Oh,
Um,
hold up. One last thing.
Grim Snarl.
The Grim Snarl. I gotta remind
Dude,
myself what this
this
thing does. 180, 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then its ability when
insane
you
ability.
search your deck for 5 basic dark energy attachment to your Marty's Pokemon. I mean, yeah,
Dude,
that ability is insane.
so actually, I was talking about this. I forget who I was talking about it with, but um, as far as I can tell, there's probably we're only getting 2 owner sets. We're getting this set and next set, and then we get megas. So, and we could get megas plus owners. I guess that's possible. But
We could get
honestly,
Mega Owners Pokemon.
also you could get that. But overall, if we don't, owners were kind of a letdown overall. Like I feel like the biggest one was Zorark, and it's whatever. You have broken abilities on Grimmsnarls, on Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and it's just like nothing to go with it. The ability's insane. One of the best abilities ever is on this Grimmsnarl, right? Obviously, it's limited to Marnie's Pokemon, but limited to like a certain type would be like the same thing, whatever. There's nothing to go with it. Like, I don't know, it's just pretty big disappointment. I feel like owners Pokemon have been a pretty big disappointment, and it looks like they're just gonna be a disappointment. I guess we don't know the rocket stuff we're getting yet. Um, but from what
Yeah,
we've
dude.
seen, it feels pretty
Giovanni's
bad.
Mewtwo, like, for sure is gonna be broken.
Okay, so yeah, we could. I guess there could still, but the thing is, then it's just like one owner's Pokemon was broken, and all of the rest of them kind of suck. But stuff does kind of come around in the Pokemon TCG. Crispin went from like this card seems pretty good. Play a little bit of it. Rotation hits. It's like a four of in a lot
Dude,
of decks, right?
I
So
said Crispin was insane from the beginning.
I don't remember that, but
Someone find the clip. I definitely
it
when
took a
Crispin
while
was
for it
revealed.
to ramp up for sure. But it is a good card, right? It was always a good. It was always a decent card. I don't think anyone thought that card was bad, but um, yeah, hopefully owners Pokemon do come around at some point, and some of them are a little bit better. I think Steven's Metagross still seems kind of good.
Mm,
And actually they do have it, right? Don't
I'm
they
pretty
have? I
sure
think.
they do.
Well, apparently it's not gross enough to make a top 16 in a league or a city league.
A
What card?
League Cup.
No, that's not Metagross. I literally thought I saw it when you clicked on that one.
We got Hydrapple, though.
Oh, click on the bottom deck actually.
Hydrapple Sinistra, of course.
Roaring Moon lives.
Roaring Moon hanging on.
It got the E switch. You can set up a Roaring Moon in one turn.
Dude, if you have to, like, if you click through these city leagues and looked at, like, every single deck, you definitely could find some, like, some vile entries of, like, archetypes that just should not exist, or, like, the way people have played I mean, it's like it would be like if you looked at the top 16 of every league cup in the country of the United States, right? Like,
And if you go back to, you don't have to go back to it, but just looking at that Roaring Moon list, like everything was a two Pecharon, two Brute Bonnet, two Squawkabilly. Like I don't know if it's an overcorrection because we don't have heavy ball anymore, or maybe that might just be the correct way to play things. It's like two of everything.
you know.